Hi, I'm Katie Delaney, and this is an evening meditation brought to you on December 22nd, 2021. It's meant to be a meditation that's going to be helping us to ground. I will be working with the chakra system and helping us to release some energy and some things that we've collected through the year so that we can be open to receive the light and the blessings for the year that is to come. I've already lit some candles for us to have some sacred space. And I'm going to also burn some incense for us as well. I have a little quick start charcoal, which you can see is sparking. I'm gonna let it burn to be a white ash color before I add any incense or anything to it. I do have it in a little abalone shell, and I have some sand inside of here because this charcoal, as you can imagine, can get quite hot. So I'm gonna let this burn for a little while. Set it on a flat structure. I'm setting it on the floor, but set it on some place where you will not have any kind of fire or anything, because there are sparks, as you can hear, that come off of this charcoal. I'm going to be burning a few different incense for us tonight. I am going to start with frankincense resin. Frankincense resin you can purchase from a metaphysical store. It looks like these little pebbles. They actually are like resin, similar to pine resin that weeps out of the trunk of a tree. Frankincense can also be processed to be an essential oil, which is a very, very concentrated form of frankincense. So I do not use essential oils when I am burning incense. I use the raw form of the herb and the plant as they were intended to be used in this purpose of cleansing and blessing. So as this coal heats up, I will just add a couple of little frankincense tears, as they are called. And then I'm also going to be adding some sandalwood powder. And sandalwood is a very sacred and special incense and form of botanical therapeutic. I often have to tell people about it when they are frustrated with how expensive sandalwood can be. Sandalwood comes from the heartwood of a tree that can only be harvested when it is 30 years old in nature. And there are some sustainable sources of sandalwood, and I do encourage you to seek them out and find them, because those are the sources that you want to support. It is often a poached tree, and it is a really rare tree. It doesn't grow in all environments. You can't grow sandalwood in Colorado, for instance, because it's a parasitic root. It actually grows in a symbiotic relationship with another plant, and so you can't just grow them anywhere. And as I said, you can only get this very heart-centered aromatic from it after it's 30 years old in its native environment. There have been some people who have figured out how to grow it in a farm type environment, and they've been able to actually produce sandalwood oil at 20 years old, but that's still the heartwood of a tree, and you have to consider that it's the whole tree that's being taken down. So it's a very, very sacred, precious medicine, not to be used indiscriminately, which is why, again, I typically only use the powder and for incense. And I use it when I make my essential oil blends, really just for people's channeled blends rather than for anything that I would use on a daily basis, because it's from a really old being that we took the life of to be able to use its medicine. As you can see, the wafting of the frankincense resin. I'm going to go ahead and let us take that in. And let it wash through our beings. Bringing us into alignment like a very tall Boswellia Cautery tree, which is frankincense. And to that, I am going to add some of our very precious heartwood of sandalwood. So that we can let go of things that we've held on to deep inside, that we've carried throughout the year. And I invite you to find a small pillow to place just underneath your rump. Then you can fold your legs in front of you. I always fold mine with one leg in front of the other. You may not be able to see it here because it's too dark in my house. But I always fold one leg in front of the other and one underneath, and that's how I comfortably do my sittings. I have a little pillow tucked underneath my tush to give me a little support ergonomically. And from there, I align myself from my spine as if I'm imagining a string from the base of my spine lining up through the crown of my head and attaching me to the divine source directly above. And in that way, I can get some lifting through my head and up through my body. And from here, let's just take a few deep breaths. Connect to ourselves. Connect to the skin. With each breath, feel it relax. Connect to the top of our head. And slowly bring your attention down through your head, from the crown of your head, and washing over your scalp like warm honey. Imagine this golden light to wash over your eyelids and bring them relaxation. Your nose, your cheekbones, your jaw, allow the warm golden light to wash down your body slowly like a viscous fluid. Much like the resin that pours from the frankincense tree. And as this fluid, this thick golden liquid coats your physical body, may you feel stronger and more centered as it washes over your shoulders, over your chest, your clavicle, dripping over your nipples and your arms, gently coating you with this warm, delicious, sweet nectar. Let it drip down through your sternum, over your belly. Heavy, let it soak into your hips and into your root and over your knees, through your calves and your shins, and down to your feet, through your toes, pooling to your feet. Take a deep breath. And when you're ready to take a deep inhale, with that inhale, acknowledge all that you took in this year, all that you took into your heart, all that you took into your mind, all that you took into your body. And with that, take a deep breath. Let it fill your lungs. Hold it. Slowly let it release. And with that, imagine releasing your own leaves to the ground of the earth. Take another deep breath. And with this exhale, let yourself find your center deep in your core of your body. Let your attention feel weighted down into the root of your chakra system. Let your breath flow easily wherever it may want to be. Take it deep into your lungs and let it go. Bring your attention to the base of your spine. This is located right near, in between, if you're a female, in between your yoni and your anus. If you're a male, just in front of your anus, in your prostate area. And imagine yourself sitting like a tree in your root attaching to your being here. And here you let your attention sink deeply into the earth. Take a breath. Bring your attention to this root at the base of your spine, and imagine a red golden gem full of light. As you look upon this gem, you can see it has 4 distinct petals on it. And it brings an awareness of your survival instinct and how you yourself have engaged in this year, what you have brought into activity, and what you've brought into form. This is our root chakra. And if we can bring our attention here in this root, we can allow ourselves to let go of that which no longer serves us, that is weighted, that which feels solid, that which brings us fear of the unknown. We can allow ourselves and our attention to sink into the earth. And drop all of these fears, all of these attachments away. And within that space, we can pull up like a corridor of minerals and nutrients that we need. Can be part of the circulatory system of the earth and drop the energy and potential that we are also part of the circulatory system for. We must compost and let go of that which is no longer bringing us life, so that it can be turned over into something new. And take a moment to drop it all away. Drop the weight off your shoulders, off your ears, off your heart, off your legs, exhale. Inhale the potential of so much unknown, that which is deep within the earth, which is being turned over and in the midst of creation. Allow your emotions and your forgiveness and your compassion to wash through the terrain of what is known and what seems solid, much like The rivers run through the terrains of the earth. That all of these realizations and these floods of excitement and heaviness, of disappointment, let it all be seen. Let it be seen as a shifting river, a meandering stream, a quiet ocean that gets stirred by the storm. Within this, we see our Sacral Chakra, that which is in our womb, that which is located underneath our belly button in our reproductive system. And it is here that we create new worlds, new life, art, and we transform the earth with the stirrings of our spirit. Please acknowledge where your emotions took you this year, the highs and the lows. We are a lot like this world. We are made of rivers and meandering streams, still oceans that get stirred by storms only to see rainbows when the calm returns. Take a deep breath. This chakra is orange in color. It's made of 6 petals that remind us how important it is to acknowledge history and the learnings of time so that we aren't swept away. And bring your attention a few inches higher to the meeting place just below your ribs. This is your solar plexus. Imagine a bright yellow sun pouring out of this space, made of a gem or a flower that has 10 radiant petals. This is you. It's your sun. It's your fire. It's your spirit. It's where you've crystallized into form, being that it has 10 petals. And this is your will. This is where you were called to show up, and you did. It's where your confidence comes from, that isn't questioned by the mind. Acknowledge where you let your light shine in this earth. showed up for yourself and for another. Acknowledge your own light. Take a deep breath. Let's bring our attention up into our heart space. This chakra is known for its emerald green color. It's a 12-pointed point of light, or gem, or wheel of light. It's called Anahata, which is in Sanskrit defined as the unstruck chord. Here we find our point of exchange with another. It's also where we exchange air with our blood. It's what circulates nutrients throughout our whole system. It is here that we really are in a place of exchange, and it is our fourth chakra. What do you savor from this year? The most precious of moments can often be those that are the most fleeting. Can we give honor to being present within a place of exchange? Let us bring our attention to our throat chakra, located at the base of our throat. It is in this chakra that we speak our truth. Feel into this chakra. If you've placed any knots on it or restrictions on it or blocks within it, and if so, allow yourself space to untie the knot and to drink some tea. That's what came through. Make sure you nourish what needs to be said by taking solace in your own truth over a cup of tea. your attention to our third eye chakra. The third eye chakra, as you can imagine, is located in between your two brows. It's made of two petals with a space in between. And in this place, we can see beyond duality. We can see beyond right and wrong and black and white. It is here that we have the true compassion of understanding through experience. It is here that we can hold a bigger perspective than just our own. Allow yourself to witness this last year with some separation from self. Allow a new light to filter in, lending perspective through shadows and angles. Let's bring our attention up to our crown, our chakra, to the top of our head, where there is an amethyst-colored blooming flower with an infinite amount of petals. In this space, we open ourselves to an all-knowing wisdom that can be open to our own higher self and its guidance for the coming year. Much like our own inner bloom opens to the warmth and the light of the sun. Let us feel ourselves opening to this new light that is coming in, this inspiration from Spirit. In full faith and trust of its guidance to come. Let us open to that which will grow us toward our greatest becoming. Many blessings to you in this coming year.